Hi everyone, it's Gelsina. Welcome to my yoga channel. Let's get ready to do a 25-minute feel-good flow. Let's begin in the middle of our mat in a comfortable seated position with your back tall. Close your eyes and just have your hands relaxed on your knees. Let's begin today just by taking some deep breaths into the lungs and some deep breaths out. Take notice if there's some tightness in the chest when you're breathing, or it feels as if you're not breathing as deep. And just try to relax in those spaces. Let's begin to bring some movement into our physical body. So we'll start by just taking the arms up towards the sky, taking your gaze up. Bring the palms together as you inhale, reaching up, and as you exhale, bring the fingertips to the ground and bring your chin to the chest. Let's do this a couple of times, inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, coming down. And on your next time that you bring the hands down, walk your right fingertips out towards the right and reach up and over with the left hand and arm. Really breathing into the left side. Come back to center and then reach over to the opposite side, keeping your sit bones on the ground. And really try to elongate the spine. Come back to center and come back to the right side. So let's bring our breathing into these movements. Inhaling, come to center. Exhale, bend to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend. And the next time you come back to center, let's hold the arms out at shoulder height. The back is tall. And then push the palms out, bring the fingertips up towards the sky or ceiling. Breathe into this stretch. Relax the palms down and bring the arms out in front of you. And now we're turning the palms up towards the sky and just bending the arms very slightly. So it's as if you're holding a ball, and then take the arms out to the side. So forward and then out to the side. Incorporate your breathing with each movement. And then let's bring the arms behind our back, interlace the fingers, push the chest forward, and if it's comfortable, let the head fall back. Breathe into the heart space. If it's comfortable for you to bring the fingertips behind you here on the ground, and then lift the chest. Let's find ourselves onto our hands and our knees, beginning to bring some movement to our spine. Curving the spine as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest. And as you inhale, bring the belly button down towards the mat and look up. Just going at your own pace here, inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll push back to child's pose here, so bringing the knees out and walk the fingertips forward. I'm keeping this as like an active child's pose, so my elbows are lifted off the ground. From here, let's Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and push back to downward dog. I like to come up onto my toes and then push my heels down a couple of times just to really loosen up the feet. Remember to breathe here and relax the head. Then let's raise our right leg behind us, up, and then bring it into the chest. Tap the knee to the ground, bring it back to the chest, and back to a three-legged dog. So we'll do this a couple of times, just incorporating your breathing. As you inhale, bring the knee into the chest. Exhale, tap the knee down. Inhale, bring it into the chest. Exhale, push back. Let's do one more. And the next time you're at your downward dog, let's open our hips. So we're just bending our right leg. And then we're going to swing our leg through our hands, come up onto the fingertips. So we're in a high lunge. Feel free to just gently rock back and forth here just to loosen the hips a bit. And then find your balance and then come into a high lunge, arms reaching up. Breathe. Let's hinge forward now. So the arms are alongside the ears. As you exhale, push the arms back, palms up. So inhale, come back to your lunge. Exhale, hinge forward, bring the arms back. Let's do this a couple of times, really feeling strong in the whole body and warming up the arms here. Let's do one more. And then when you find your high lunge, let's take 10 pulses here. So we're just pulsing up and down 10 times, breathing. So good. Now let's open to Warrior Two. This should feel really good. Arms are at shoulder height. Breathe and really bend into that right leg. From here, let's come into a reverse triangle. So straighten your front leg and reach back. Coming now into a triangle twist. So we're taking our left arm, and you could just place it on your right leg or place it on the outside of the foot. Breathe. Let's come back up to standing, and then from here, we're going to do just some side lunges. So bending to the right, have your left foot up towards the ceiling, and then shift over to the left, bending the left leg, really trying to stay as low as possible, and remember to breathe here. This is so good for the hips, getting all of the energy moving in places that could be stagnant. Let's come back to our lunge now, and then step back to downward dog. Let's shift forward to plank and then lower all the way down and lift the chest as you inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest to cobra. Exhale, lower. This time you could repeat that or reach the arms back and then lift the legs up. So you're lifting everything, breathing as deep as you can. Release down and then push back up to your downward dog. Let's repeat all of that on the other side. So reach your left leg up. And as you inhale, bring it into your chest. Exhale, tap the knee down. Inhale, bring it back to the chest. And then bring it back to downward dog. Going at your own pace here. This is so good for the entire body. Let's do one more. And then when you make your way back to your downward dog, three-legged dog, bend that left leg and open the hip. And then swing your leg in between the hands, come into your high lunge on this side, and it may feel good to just rock back and forth a few times. Once you find your balance, lift up to your high lunge. Get ready for our hinge forward. So when you're ready, hinge forward, bring the arms back. And then on an inhale, come back to your lunge. Exhale, hinge forward. Let's do this a few times, just like we did on the other side, really feeling strong and empowered in your entire body here. Let's do one more, and then we'll meet back in our high lunge and prepare for our 10 pulses. So we're just pulsing up and down, feeling strong in the entire body here, continuing to breathe. Fantastic. And now open to Warrior Two, just like you did on the other side. Really bending that left leg. Find your deep breathing. And then we'll straighten our front leg and reach back into a reverse triangle. Let's come back to center and then twist, bringing your right arm either on your left leg or to the side. Reach up with the left hand. Breathe. Let's come back to center. So I'm just turned around, but just like you did the other side, we're doing our side lunges from one side to the other. Try to keep your balance here as you stay low and breathe. Let's do one more. And then come back to your lunge position at the top of the mat. Step back to downward dog. Shift forward to plank, and then you can either just do a regular cobra or do a high cobra or chaturanga. Really breathe into the chest here, bring the shoulders back, and then meet back in downward dog. Relax your head here. Let's now lift our right leg back up behind us. Swing the leg between the hands, find your balance, and then come back to your high lunge. Let's hinge forward, and you can always stay here. But once you find your balance, focus on something on the floor that's not moving. Lift the back leg and come into Warrior Three. Any variation with the arms. Breathe and find your control here. And then when you're ready, fold over your front leg. Step back to your lunge. Reach the arms up and then twist and open the arms to the right. Keep breathing here. I like to do a variation where I reach up with my left arm and reach back with the right arm. Let's come back to lunge, lower the back leg, and then reach the arms back, really breathing into this heart opener. Bring the hands back down. And this time we're just bringing our right foot out wider, and then bring your elbows and forearms down to the mat. So this is a really deep hip opening position. And if you want it to be more intense, you can lift the back leg. Let's meet back in downward dog. Shift forward to plank pose, lower down and do a chaturanga or just cobra pose. Then come back to downward dog. Breathe. Let's do the other side now. So reach the left leg up and then swing it between the hands, coming up to your high lunge once again. When you feel stable and ready, let's hinge forward. Again, you could always stay here or come into your warrior 3 position. Make sure you have that standing leg a little bent. Breathe and focus on something that's not moving. And then let's fold over our front leg. And we'll step back to our high lunge. Reach the arms alongside the ears. And then we'll twist open to the left. Breathing here. And then bringing the right arm up, bring the left hand down on the leg. Let's come back to our lunge position, lower the back leg, and then reach the arms up and back. Once again, breathing into the heart space. Let's bring the hands down, and just like we did the other side, walk the left foot out a bit to the edge of your mat and bring your elbows down. Breathe here. You can always lift the back leg for more intensity. Let's come back to downward dog. And then we'll lower the knees down and press back into child's pose. Once again, I'm keeping my child's pose active, keeping the elbows up off the ground. From here, let's shift forward into plank position. So we're on our forearms here. This is a forearm plank. Interlace the fingers. And then we'll shift the hips to the right and then tap them to the left. Continuing to breathe here. Feel strong in the whole body. Tapping right and left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Hold. And then we'll just shift forward. So on our toes, we're shifting forward and back. Continuing to stay on the forearms. Use your deep breathing in this position. Let's just do a few more together. And then let's hold in our forearm plank. Keep breathing. I know this is difficult. Find your breathing. And then lower down. So good. Come now onto your forearms into a sphinx pose. So press into the palms and the forearms. And you're just gently opening the chest here. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can lift the elbows off the mat and really breathe here into the spine. Lower back down, and then just bring one forearm on top of the other and rest your forehead on top. You can always stay in this position, or you can reach back, bend the legs, and take a hold of the tops of the feet. When you're ready, lift the chest up and lift the knees off the ground. really breathing into this bow pose. Seeing if you can lift everything up even higher as you continue your deep breathing. One more breath, and then release down. Return to your forearms stacked and your forehead on top, and just let your legs sway from side to side. Let's push back to our child's pose. This time I have my knees together. And if it's comfortable for you, take your arms alongside your body, your palms facing up. Let's come up to seated now. We just have 5 more minutes left of class, so let's finish strong today. Let's straighten our left leg and then bring the right foot inside the thigh. Keep your left toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Reach up and fold over the left leg. With each breathing, see if you can fold in and forward a little bit more. Let's come back up and then bring your right leg, cross it over the left leg, bring your right arm behind you and twist. Look over the right shoulder, breathe. And then let's untwist and we'll do the other side. So straighten the right leg, bring the left foot inside the thigh, reach up and fold over the right leg. Find your breathing here. See how long you can make your spine. And then let's come back up. And just like we did the other side, bring that left leg across the right leg and twist over the left shoulder. Deep breathing. Come back to center. And then from here, straighten the legs out, bring the arms out in front of you, and then slowly roll the spine all the way down to the ground. Should feel really good. Notice how it feels to be on the back side of the body. So we'll finish with one powerful pose, which is my favorite pose, and it's fish pose. Bring your legs together, tuck in the last couple of fingers underneath your hips, your legs, and then keeping the legs together, push into the elbows, push the chest up, and then bring the crown of the head towards the ground. It's okay if it doesn't touch, but really exaggerate here and open the heart. This is the number one pose for posture. Take some nice deep breaths here. So beginners or even intermediate practitioners can stay here, but if you are very familiar with this pose, you could lift the legs up and then also lift the hands up, bringing the hands together, breathing into kingfish pose and then lower down. But wherever you are, to get out of fish pose, push into the elbows and look at your toes. Slowly roll the spine down and release the arms. I like to bring the bottoms of my feet together and have my knees going outward just to open the hips here. Bringing the knees into the chest also feels good, and wrapping the arms around the legs, bringing your forehead to your knees. And then let's find our relaxation pose. Palms facing up, arms alongside the body, legs are relaxed, eyes are closed. And I invite you to just put your hand on your heart and see if you can feel your heartbeat. It's not often that we do this in our daily lives. And maybe you'd like to put one hand on your stomach and just notice the breathing, the rhythm of the up and down movement of your stomach, of your chest. Take this time just to be grateful for your life and for your health. Feel free now just to relax the arms alongside the body. And allow this gratefulness just to wash over your whole body, creating a extremely positive experience. Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Bring some movement back into the body, wiggling the toes or the fingers. And very slowly make your way onto your side, using your arm as a pillow. And when you're ready, let's come back up to a seated position like we began class. Close your eyes for a moment, keeping the spine tall. Notice how you feel. Open the eyes, reach the arms up overhead, bring the palms together, and then bring the palms in front of your heart. We will end our class here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this felt good in your body today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.